Hello ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday, June 16th, 2015. Thanks a lot for tuning into another episode of Cardoodle. This is Jim. In case you missed it, the last episode of Welcome to Boulder Dash came out last Friday. If you haven't a chance to see it, go ahead and click the link in the upper right corner right now. Don't worry, I'll still be here when you get back. Today I'm doing a little bit of work on the Christmas cartoon that you should see in a few months. Honestly, it feels like this is the first time I've made any progress on that in the last few weeks. The part I'm working on right now is going to be part of a little montage I'm going to have at the end of the Christmas cartoon. Probably have about 4 or 5, maybe 6 shots left to set up. Really going to be a lot more shots in this one than any other thing I've worked on. I'm just really hoping that people find it funny when it finally does come out. When you work on something for this long, you kind of forget why you found it interesting in the first place, and you get really worried about whether or not anybody's going to like it anymore. But you can't let that paralyze you, otherwise you don't get anything done. All this work I've been doing on a cartoon about the holiday season has kind of got me feeling nostalgic from time to time about that feeling when you're a little kid and you're really excited for the holidays to come up and everything. And I'm beginning to realize that nostalgia is a crazy powerful feeling. You think about how much media now is based on what's nostalgic for us. For example, one of the big blockbusters this summer is Jurassic World, and the original Jurassic Park I think came out 20 years ago or so. Or all the stuff that's coming out on Netflix lately. They recently announced that there's going to be a sequel series to Full House. They put out a continuation of Arrested Development. I even saw a little publicized re-release of Inspector Gadget. There are a lot more of these kinds of things that I'm probably forgetting about, but seeing sequels and continuations of these things that ended 10, 15, 20 years ago has really made me kind of think about the stuff that I liked when I was younger. Some of that stuff when you revisit it actually is good, but a lot of it is pretty bad when you actually look back on it. Something I revisited recently was Captain Planet, and I remember being a little kid and wanting to be the fire guy. Like if somebody asked me, what are you going to be when you grow up? I would say, I'm going to be the fire guy from Captain Planet. Now most of us, if we grew up with it, remember it being a pretty awesome show, and I looked back on it and yeah, it's pretty dumb. Sure, I'm on board with the environmental message and all that stuff, but when you look at it from a story perspective, it was a pretty dumb show overall. But that's not the only thing. I mean, this is true of even stuff like music we listen to. We complain about music these days being stupid now. And let's face it, there was a lot of stupid stuff when we were kids too. And it makes me wonder why we look back with such rose-colored glasses at the stuff that we thought was cool when we were kids. Now I realize some of the people watching here are a lot younger than I am. I'm getting close to 30 years old now, and several of the people watching right now are teenagers. So I guess what I'm saying is this is something you can use against your parents. You can basically say, yeah, I think bands these days are bad. What about NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, the Spice Girls? Those are the things we listen to. And yeah, they had catchy tunes, they bring back good memories for us, but listen to the lyrics. They weren't very insightful songs overall. And I realize I'm probably alienating some people. I'm not judging you for liking these things, believe me, I like this stuff too. I'm just being honest about the fact that stuff back then is not necessarily higher quality than stuff is now. But anyway, my point is that a lot of media companies are really latching onto this because nostalgia is such a powerful feeling, and I'm wondering what you think the reason is for that. Why do we get so excited when, for example, it's announced that Twin Peaks is going to get some new episodes about 25 years after it stopped airing? I mean, what's wrong with the stories we already had? Do we really need to add to those things? Or should we be happy with the stories as they stand on their own? I mean, are we holding ourselves back from creating and enjoying new things? Let me know what you think about this in the comments section. Do you like this idea that we are expanding the stories and characters that existed a long time ago? Or do you think it would be better if we concentrated more on exploring new territory with all new stories and settings and plots? Alright, well thanks again for watching. I really appreciate it. And if you could do me a favor, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.